It's a good day to each one of you that is joining us today on Broken Truth here on CBC Television. With me presenting, my name is Martin Lutuna, as usual. And so today we focus on anger management, how it is that you get to manage your mood of anger when you are upset. Things don't go the way that you expected, or maybe you've been denied of certain privileges, and you are asked to do something which makes you angry. Maybe a child, a baby just growing up, and you stinge a child something. All of a sudden, they burst into these anger flares, and then the child wants to have their own way. They feel like they have a right to whatever it is that you've denied them. They can even bite you or even pull you by your leg and whatnot, because the child is hungry. And more so you find it even in adults. Some people fail to handle their anger issues, as it were. So people get hungry for various reasons. And even on petty issues, somebody would get hungry like that. Joining me on set is Tracy Peary. Good afternoon, Tracy.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Wonderful, it's good to have you with us. And next to her is Madam Chansama Imbo. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, thank you.
Good, it's good to have each one of you joining us. Are you ready to discuss the topic of anger?
Yes.
Great. Okay, it's good to know that you're ready to do that. And now, the first question would be, what is your understanding of anger? We'll start with you, Madam Chancellor. What is anger?
I think my understanding of anger is when you find something displeasing. Maybe a comment or an action that has been portrayed by someone, and it's like a counter reaction to what action or words have been said. Yes.
Something like a comment or anything that is said, and then it makes you angry.
Yes.
That is anger. Tracy, what is your understanding of anger?
I think I would go with what she said. Yeah, something displeasing, something that will make you feel outrageous or something.
Something displeasing.
Yeah.
And maybe the question to that would be, what do you know are the sources of anger, apart from comments that someone would make? Where does anger come from? Tracy, we start with you. Where does anger come from?
Maybe when someone does something to
It's like you're not
upset
sure.
you.
You're saying maybe. You don't know.
No, like when someone does something to upset you.
Mm.
Yes, maybe it can be an insult, they do something.
Mm.
Yes, an action that
So,
someone
so
can take.
according to you, a person is only getting angry because there is something said to them. There isn't any other way that anger is coming to you apart from what is said. So it's verbal from what I'm getting from the both of you. Madam Chancellor, where does anger come from?
I think anger can also come from stress. When the certain emotions are bottled up, and then it's like your mind cannot take it anymore, and then it now comes to come out as a burst of anger, because you've been bottling up certain issues in your mind. Maybe the said comments or certain things that haven't been working out in your life the way that you hoped they would, or you are angry at the place that God has you, and then now finally you just burst out in anger. Maybe you scream at someone or you cry. So yeah, I think that's also another source of anger, aside from comments or actions that people can portray.
That's right. Apart from what people can do, you also... do you think anger is externally inflicted, or you can make yourself angry? Tracy?
Well, yeah, you can make yourself angry.
How?
The same thing she said of battling up emotions, you find that you were upset, then the emotions keep on piling up. So the more they pile up, then eventually you're going to burst, like you're going to express the anger.
So I'm thinking from where you stand, it's like the bottling up is because there are things that you're getting from outside. You keep them outside.
Yeah.
Because I think you can't bottle the things for yourself. And if it's something that you've caused, you won't bottle it up. So it's bottled because it's external, isn't it, Madam Chancellor?
Yes,
Or
most of the
it's
times
something that is.
it can be external, but I think basically in however you look at it, it majorly is external, because even if we talk of a situation where someone is grieving and then they've bottled up that grief and then it comes to like come out as a burst of anger, it's also something that external. It's something that has happened to them that they have no control over. It's an external thing, but it's an emotional feeling within themselves that turns into a burst of anger. But I feel like there are also times that maybe internally you can make yourself angry. For example, on the projects that I work on, there are times when I envision it to turn out a certain way, and then I'm maybe incapable of making it happen.
You're
And
disappointed.
then, yes, I disappoint myself and I get angry at the fact that I didn't get to do it the way that I hoped it would turn out.
And of course, you'll be angry with a wrong decision, isn't it? You've made the wrong decision, then you get angry. Is that possible?
It's very possible, because sometimes you make certain decisions with a certain level of knowledge, and then once you make the decision and you have the consequences of that decision, you come to realize that you shouldn't have made the decision in the first place, and it has you angry because you feel like you should have known better.
And then someone who beats themselves up, they're hungry at themselves because of this that I've done. And do you agree to that, Tracy, that you've made the wrong decision and then you're hungry, you're upset with yourself?
Yeah. Yes.
It happens.
Mm.
Have you been there before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Are there any practical examples you'd say, like what happened that you found yourself in that situation? Where you felt to decide for this, you decided for another, and it upset you?
Well, I can put it in school context, like where you're studying and then you decide to neglect a certain topic, saying, this can't come. And then you go in the exam room and that's the first question and you're like, oh my God, I wish I studied this.
And then you get angry at yourself.
Yes, because maybe the question is carrying lots of marks, like maybe it's the first question, which is compulsory, and you're supposed to answer the compulsory question. If you don't answer it, then you're failed.
Is disappointment equal to anger? Chancellor?
I don't think it always is. Maybe in
It's
certain
not.
instances, but you could be disappointed and not be angry. Yeah.
Okay. You can be disappointed at something and yet not angry. You smile about it. You smile about the disappointment.
Yeah.
You move on.
Yeah, I think especially when you get to a level where nothing can like shake you easily. It's like you're disappointed at someone's actions, but at that point maybe you've gotten to know them so well that it's like you're just expecting it to happen now. So you are disappointed that you were right that it would happen, but you're no longer angry at the fact that it did happen, because in a way you did expect that it would happen, but you hoped that it wouldn't have happened that way. So you end up just being disappointed, and you could just be maybe sad about it, or like you said, laugh about it, because there are times when you feel like overwhelmed because like you really were riding on the hope that things would have happened in a certain way. So you just sometimes you laugh at your problems. Yeah.
Tracy, why do you think teenagers nowadays would get so disappointed and angry at the same time because a boyfriend has left them or because a girlfriend has left them? They're angry at themselves, they go and hang themselves, they commit suicide over that. So why is it like that?
Basically, it's lack of recreational activities.
Mm.
Because let's say an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So most of the teenagers nowadays, they don't explore, they don't like doing new activities, new things, they don't like having fun. Their only way of fun is boyfriend and girlfriend. So you find that when something goes wrong in that area, their whole world crashes down. But let's take, for instance, as a teenager, you play tennis, you watch movies, you read, you jog, you go to the gym for fun. When you are faced with a disappointment, you can play tennis, listen to music, do something that will help you calm down at least.
So what you're saying is that teenagers are not prepared for disappointment.
Yeah.
There is no disappointment in their sphere of operation.
They do not prepare for it.
They don't prepare. Well, Madam Chancellor, do you agree to that fact that people are not ready for disappointment? That's to the end they become angry.
Yeah, in a way, I think I would agree with that statement. Because it's like, I don't know if you remember having that come a first interaction of like boyfriend and girlfriend where you feel like you are in love and nothing can shake you.
Yeah.
It's like she said, you pour out everything, all your energy into that relationship that you're having, and you feel like, oh, we'll be together forever and all that. But then having an outlet where it's music, something that you love, it's easy, I think, to be able to focus on something else. But if everything, like your time is spent talking to that person all day, you see each other during the day, you talk to each other during the nights, you're always together, because that's the type of relationship that usually teenagers get to have, because there's no other responsibilities apart from school. And most of the times, you would date within the same spaces that you're being found in. So if it's in church, then you'll be seeing each other all the time you're in church, or if it's in school, you see each other every single day. And even after school, when you're done with your chores, if it's the girls, maybe these days it's now equalized, both are done with the chores, and then they still see each other afterwards. So like she said, it is definitely lack of something else that can be an outlet for the person to just focus on, instead of always spending time.
But I mean, there are people that are recreational. They go to the gym, they play soccer, they do all these other things that you are saying, because an idle mind is the devil's workshop. But now here's a person who has done everything. They go to the gym, they are jogging in the morning, there's activity about them, and yet they get disappointed, they're angry with themselves, they contemplate suicide. So how would you term that? Is it also a devil's workshop, though someone is in the gym, or they just choose to ignore these facts?
Well, they just choose to ignore because, they're not busy enough.
They are not busy.
Yeah, because if you put your mind at something, then you say, I don't want to concentrate on this, I want to concentrate on this. Yeah, flashbacks will be there, but you're like, okay, I'm concentrating on something. Then you'll brush it off. It's not easy, but eventually you'll get there.
You definitely get there, because it's not easy. Madam Chancellor, do you agree with Tracy that the devil's workshop is one that is idle, and yet we're seeing more of these people that are active and yet being disappointed? They are successful, seemingly successful, yet full of anger. They can't forgive themselves. They've killed themselves. Where does that come from?
I think it's also a lack of passion and identity, because when you lack a passion for something that you're doing, you don't have that special drive for it. It's like you're just doing it for the sake of, and then when something that you actually love with all your being, comes crashing down, therein lies the crumbling down for everything else, because everything else you're just doing for the sake of. Like you just, like, there are certain people who would rather just be in bed. So you're getting out of bed for the sake of the fact that they'll tell you that, oh, you're being in bed too much. So it's the same thing as somebody who's going to the gym, somebody who's active in several aspects. But somebody may say, oh, I'm going to the gym because I was taught at home that it's healthy for me to be going to the gym. Not that that person actually thinks about how it impacts their body and loving to do it. It's maybe even for the sake of just appearances, they should see that I'm lifting weights or this and that. And then maybe music, because maybe someone told you that you've got a good voice, not that you really love to sing and write music. There are people who do things without a passion for it. And then that passion is directed towards a human being, which means somebody maybe becomes so addicted to that person, and the moment that they leave them, they come crashing down. So I'll attribute it to passion for something. And also, when somebody lacks identity, you ride off of somebody else's identity. And I've seen this happen a lot of times when it comes to especially a man and a woman relationship. it's even with friendships, sometimes you find that a person who doesn't really understand the identity will ride off of the other person who's more like the limelight. So it's the same thing as relationships as well. That is like the person lives for the other. If it's the woman living for the man or the man living for the woman, because they lack their personal identity.
Madam Chancellor, I don't know if you would see that there are people that claim to know who they are, their identity quite well. And maybe you ask them, you look at them, they say this is a mature person, and yet they just behave this funny way that you can't even relate. You can't put 1 + 1 on them. Yet they've messed up because the hunger has taken a toll of them, and you see maybe there are situations where a couple, because they have these misunderstandings, a woman gets in the car and then bashes the husband, or even goes to crash with the children because of these anger issues, people failing to manage their anger. So what would you say this is immaturity, or people are mature and yet they fail to handle anger?
I don't think it's immaturity. People go through a lot of different things, and there comes a time when someone would say enough is enough at the wrong time. So, like we've been talking about bottling things up, the lack of having an outlet will now lead to that moment where someone has bottled things up, and then you cannot guarantee how you're going to react to your situation in anger, because you've been bottling up something. So it's always best, if you feel angry about something, to have an outlet, to pour out fists, to scream, to just do something that allows you to have an outlet of that feeling that you're having, because we all, as human beings, will always have a time when we feel like enough is enough. I just can't.
So you're encouraging people to get angry, like they should be hungry and then pour out. Do you agree to that, Tracy, that people should feel angry and then they need to vent their anger?
Yes, but it depends how you vent your anger. Because the more you keep on battling it will grow, and then it will explode, it will burst. You will end up doing something that you might regret.
Is anger a good thing or bad? What thing?
Well, it's an emotion, so it's bad.
It's bad.
But it is allowed.
Madam Chancellor, do you think anger is good or bad? Based off what Tracy is saying, it's an emotion, so it is allowed, you said.
Yes.
So is it a good thing or bad thing to be angry?
Of course it is a bad thing, but it's part of a human emotion. Like even Jesus Christ got angry himself, so he was human to the core. So it's not something that is out of order for somebody to be angry. But like you said, certain outbursts, they can be too much to the extent where someone hits their husband, and that is evidence of somebody bottling it up. And having to vent is best, because at least if I'm angry and I go and vent to a friend expressing how I'm feeling, it's like a weight has been lifted off my shoulder. If I go and stand maybe by the mountain and scream out how I'm feeling, it's like a weight has been lifted off my shoulder, than me bottling it up until I feel like, oh, today I'm just going to kill this person who's frustrating me.
Initially, I asked you about the source of anger, and then do you agree that anger is from the devil?
I really don't know how to comment on that one.
You don't know, Tracy, do you agree that anger is from the devil?
Well, I can defend my answer.
Yes, please do that. What's your belief? You don't agree that it's from the devil?
Somehow I agree.
Yeah, how do you agree, and why? How don't you agree?
Well, I don't think God can do something to get us angry, but the devil would want you to get angry so that you maybe end up insulting, which will result you to sinning. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what you're saying is anger is from the devil,
so that you sin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you also says it's not from the devil. How do you put it? That it's not from the devil?
No, it's from the devil.
It's from the devil.
Yeah.
Chancellor, do you agree that anger is from the devil?
Like I said before, I really don't know how to put it, because I feel like it's an emotion that was placed in us as well. Like we've been created as beings, and I think for the Bible to even say that love is patient and love is kind, it speaks to the fact that definitely there is impatience in a human being, there is anger, there's all these emotions that make us different from each other in the way that we react to them. So I think it's part of how we were created, but I would answer by saying that the devil could use that as a source to make us sin. Like
so it's not from the devil, he just uses it.
He uses
Anger
it,
is,
yes.
anger is
I
not
think
from the devil.
everything that the devil uses has been already in the kingdom of God and has been made to be, the worst.
So the devil
that it can
uses,
be.
the devil didn't introduce anger, he just uses it to
I think he
manipulate.
just uses it because even in
It's
the
not
Garden of
his.
Eden, like the first being that we see being angry was God. He was angry when Eve ate the apple, not so. That's the first encounter that we have with anger.
Are you sure that God was angry?
Was he happy?
No, he wasn't happy.
Exactly, he was
He wasn't
angry with the
happy.
fact
He
that
was-
he left rules for them to follow, and they did not follow it.
And he just said Jesus got angry.
Yes, he also got angry when they were selling in the church.
So is anger from the devil or from God?
It's from God.
Anger is
If
from
you are
God.
going to make me have
So
to
is it-
answer the question, it's from God.
Is anger from God or the devil?
Okay. Hearing what she has explained,
Hmm.
I think it's from God, because I think we were.
Then why does the Bible say in Ephesians 4:26 to 27 that do not let the day go with anger, do not sin against God because of anger? Do you agree that anger is sinful?
It tempts us. It takes us to sin.
To sin, yeah.
Anger is sinful.
It takes us to sin.
It's a source of sin.
It's a source of sin. Yes.
so
So which
a person
means
who doesn't get angry, they don't sin.
no.
They don't.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. It takes us to sin. Not that just because you're angry, you've sinned there and then. Yeah, you can get angry and calm down. Because in that moment when you're angry and you are able to calm yourself down, if you say, oh, I'm going to count up to 100 and breathe, whatever it is that's making me upset, I'm not going to speak to the person, or I'm not going to have a reaction in this moment. Meaning that person hasn't sinned. They have understood that they are angry in that moment and they need to relax. But the moment that I decide to say, oh, okay, that because you don't know what's going
So
to
what
happen.
I'm getting from you is that anger itself is not sinful.
I think it's a normal emotion that every person has. Like I
Everyone-
said
everyone
before,
has an
even
emotion
God
of
himself
anger.
as a higher being got angry, and Jesus, the Son of God, got angry as
So
well.
God's anger is not from the what I read in the Bible is not a sinful anger. It's this holy anger.
No, but the point is we're talking about just the word anger. We haven't said whether it's sinful or unsinful. You asked whether it's from God. The word anger itself, or the emotion anger, is it from God or is it from the devil? That's where the answer comes in to say anger itself is an emotion that was put into us. Like as we were created as beings, we were created in the image of God. So in as much as you may say that the anger of God is a righteous anger because he's got good reason to be angry, we get that anger from
Chansa,
that
you said
creation.
something nice when you talked about in Eden when Adam and Eve sinned. You say God got hungry, and so before that, when God created man, we were told everything was okay that God created.
Yes.
At what point did hunger come in?
When God realized that they did what he said they shouldn't do. Because
What did they do which they shouldn't have done?
they ate from the apple that from the tree.
They sinned.
Yes, they sinned.
The moment they sinned, then
Yes.
that's when
Yes.
if they had not sinned,
There would have been no
wouldn't have
reason
been
for
hunger.
him to be angry.
So do you agree that hunger is coming because of sin? Tracy, you want to help Chance on that? Before that, there was no anger. But the moment they eat of the tree, then, according to Chansa, then God gets angry. So the Bible says when they sinned, at the moment, death came into the world because of sin, isn't it?
Mm.
There was no death before that, isn't it?
Yes.
So are we agreeing here that anger is coming because of sin? Tracy,
Yeah, it looks
do we
like.
agree that anger is coming because of sin?
Yeah, it looks like
We
a
are not
result.
sure.
No, it's as a result,
result
of
of
something.
sin.
Yeah, as a
Okay.
result
It's
of
a
something.
result of
Johnson, you agree to
something.
that?
It's as a result of something.
sin.
I agree that it's as a
Something
result
like
of
sin.
something. Because
Something like
sometimes a person can get you angry, doesn't mean they've sinned against you. In a way.
They get you hungry.
Yes.
have
Okay,
not
let
sinned.
me give an example of a child, yes?
Mm.
A child maybe goes to the fire, yes, and touches the fire or gets burnt. That is going to get me angry because I know what it entails for the child to get burnt, what I'm supposed to now start doing instead of what I was doing. If I was supposed to be cooking, I was supposed to be doing something, preparing for work or something else, the child gets burnt and it's going to look bad on me because I am supposed to be taking care of that child. But accidents like that happen where maybe I was doing something else and then that accident takes place.
The child upsets you.
The child upsets me. So
Gets you
it's
hungry.
not like that child has decided to sin against me. You get the point. But there is anger involved in that.
So it's you who is allowing sin to get to you through anger. The child does not. And isn't it true that we choose to react to emotions when somebody does something? Okay, say you're just passing, and then a guy on the street passes a silly comment on you, isn't it? Your reaction there will determine how you will react,
Okay.
how you respond, isn't it?
Mm.
Because if say somebody you don't know shouts at you or says something, you get it to heart, and then you start to think about it. It gets to your mind. Then, based off that, you are allowing yourself. You are being vulnerable to hunger. Then you begin to sin. Instead of that person may not have even intended to make you sin. Like
Sometimes it's hard to
the
control.
example you gave of a child, isn't it?
Yeah.
A child is not intending to make you hungry.
Yeah, so
But
that's the
you
point I was
choose
trying
to-
to
you
say. Like,
choose
it
to be
doesn't always
hungry
come from
yourself.
sin. Sometimes it's just certain happenings that cause you to react in a certain way.
You allow yourself to sin and act like that.
If you say so.
Tracy, are you also agreeing that, can we agree to say sin is causing anger in people's lives? People that are watching right now, they are, because of sin, they are hungry. Hungry at themselves, hungry at their parents, hungry at their boyfriends, hungry at their government, hungry at even at God. People will be angry at God and whatnot because God didn't do this for me, whatnot, and people are angry. Isn't that sinful? What should we be doing to avoid anger?
Anger management, first of all, is
Yes,
very
how do
important.
we manage anger?
Well, for me, when I'm angry, I first pause before I react.
You pause before reacting.
Yes.
Okay, we'll take a break. On the other side, we'll address the anger management as per what Tracy is saying, and Chansa, we hear how they respond to anger in terms of managing it. See you on the other side. You are still watching The Broken Truth, which is being mended right now as to how people manage anger issues. If you're a person that is angry, what causes you angry? What causes you disappointed? What makes you sin? because of that anger. This is what we're discussing, so we get to understand how best we can manage anger. And on set with me is Tracy Piri as well as Chansa Maimbo. We're discussing anger management issues. And so, Tracy, before we went on break, you just started explaining how you respond to anger. Please go ahead and do that.
I was saying, for me, I pause before I react. Because when I'm angry and I react right there and then, I might do something or say something that I'll regret. So it's best I take a certain action when I'm calm, not when I'm in the state of anger. Yes.
So you pause, first of all, pause and then react. Isn't that sometimes there may be urgent anger? You're angry. There is no time, there's no room to pause.
I walk away.
What do you do?
I walk away.
You walk away?
Yes.
Madam Chansa, do you get angry?
Yes, I do.
What things make you angry?
Silly questions. Unnecessary questions, they make me very angry. Yeah.
Okay. How do you respond to anger?
If it's a message, I'll read through that message like severally and try to understand like what point of that message got me upset. If it's a conversation, I'll probably ask more questions to try to understand why that person is saying the things that they're saying for them to get me to that point of anger, so that I have a clearer picture to realize that am I overreacting to be angry, or is this person really like just pissing me off?
So for me, what I get from is you presenting yourself as a person who smartly get angry. Like your anger is so smart that you have room even to ask questions about the cause of your anger. You'll be able to ask them questions. What do you mean about this? Or you are not like one who just cut off. If it's a conversation, you hang up. If it's on the phone, no more talks. We can't talk about this now. Don't tell me anything now. It's done.
I really
But
cut
now
off people.
for you, you are so smart. You are so smart that you continue in this conversation. You are asking. What you're saying is before you get angry, it's a process to get there. So smart, huh?
Because I do find myself offended by something that someone has said, yes, but I'm trying to understand, like, do I have reason to be offended by what this person is saying? But if along the way I get to understand, there's one time where I got to understand that there's nothing that I can say that's going to make sense to this person, and there's nothing that they are going to say that's going to make sense to me. So I block them. Yeah.
So you block them there.
Yes, I blocked them.
Until you've established that this is anger now. They've caused you anger, and then now it's concluded.
Yes, it
then
was
you
concluded.
go
I
ahead
blocked
to
them,
block
yes.
them, because you are convinced now they've made
Yes,
you angry.
yes.
That is a smart way of getting angry, that you have stages of getting angry, as it were. Then for you, Tracy, do you also give time to understand, apart from pausing, because you talked about, you pause or walk away. But if it's in a conversation, you find yourself in a conversation and then you are getting angry, do you go to the last stage, or it will just be something that you realize, this is making me angry, then you walk away, regardless of who is there, whether they are respectable or not? You just walk away. Is that what you do even to your parents or people other than you? As long as they're making you angry, you walk away. You don't care.
No. So when someone says something offensive, I'll try to ask them what they mean, because there's some statements that can mean two things. Maybe that person says something that is positive criticism, then I take it as negative criticism. So I'll try to understand where they're coming from. But if I just see it's negative criticism, I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. But when it comes to parents, parents are always mean and rude. So for parents,
are you sure?
Yes.
They're mean. Parents are mean.
Not all the time, but the criticism that comes from them, is mostly. So you will find that maybe a parent passes a certain comment or statement that would get me upset. I won't react, I won't walk away. I'll be angry, yes, but this is someone who is orderly, and this is the person who has given birth to me, yeah? So the best I do is I keep quiet.
Is it okay to be angry at parents?
They're human beings, they do get us angry, so yes.
It's okay to be angry.
Yeah, but I just don't have to vent my anger the way I would vent it to someone my age.
You
like a friend.
wouldn't. Do you show them that they've made you angry, or
No.
because they're parents, you just keep quiet?
I keep quiet. So for me, at home, they tend me as someone who talks. So when I'm quiet, they will know to say, okay, she's angry. She didn't like what we said. So.
Madam Chancellor, if you encountered superiors, people above you, and then they're making you angry, and then do you walk away, or do you switch off, or how do you handle that situation when you're in their presence?
Especially if it's in a
upset.
scenario of parents or
With
some
parents,
people who
yes.
are elderly.
Mm.
I'll be quiet mostly because no matter how much you try to express yourself with people that are your guardians or parents, it's like there's nothing that you can tell them that's going to make sense.
They want to
So
understand.
I'll be quiet, and then in that moment, because I'm so pissed, I just want to walk away. But I'll allow them to finish talking so that I can leave. Like in that moment, all I'm thinking
Afterwards.
about is leaving so that I can go and calm myself down.
So you pretend
Because
in
I
their
don't.
presence.
No, like
you
they can see
pretend.
from my face. I can't control my face. That's one thing for sure. Like it's hard for me
You-
to control my face.
You show them on the face to say you're angry.
Yes, 'cause it's
But
hard
you
to
just-
control.
you just
It's
want to walk
natural.
away.
Yes, I just want to walk away. It's a natural thing.
Would you agree that anger has to do with upbringing, the way someone is brought up, how they respond to anger has to do with where they're coming from?
I think it mostly has to do with personality, because you may
Personality.
find that you have parents who when they get angry they actually sit you down, they'll never maybe even beat you, but you as the child, you're the one who is there like, I've seen kids like that who you can but your parent is actually even talking to you in a nice way, then the child is just there like, mommy, or like you know what I mean. Yeah, so I think upbringing may play a certain role, but it's usually just the personality that person has. Because apart from...
In this generation, we're talking about the Gen Zs and whatnot. I mean, there are situations where a child will stand up to the parent and say, Kuribeva menemoni uza, or, you know, what can you tell me? I'm exposed, I'm well learned and whatnot. Maybe your parents haven't even been to school, and so you're educated. And talking about human rights, don't you think there's a way in which you can talk to your parents, say, no, don't make me angry because you can't go on doing this, and then you show them that you're upset. Is that the right thing to do, or you just stay quiet like you are saying? You just keep quiet, you pretend to say, no, I can't walk away, and then I'll show them by my face that I'm upset. Do you think the face is enough?
Traditionally,
Traditionally,
the face is enough. But if we're looking at trying to bring up an open environment type of home, I think personally I'd prefer to bring up my children in an environment where they can be able to talk to me, so that even when I'm wrong, because usually as parents there's no like that acceptance of being wrong, because there are times when your mom reacts wrongly because maybe they find out to say she maybe told you to do something, or she expected that you were the one who did something, and actually maybe it's your sibling who did that thing, and they get so upset with you, they say all these things, and then now when she comes to realize that you are not the one who did that thing, it's rare for you to find situations where the mother apologizes. She'll just come and switch it up. Like, you know, it's now both your faults, even when it wasn't your fault. So now, I think having an open type of a situation where maybe, yes, I'm scolded, or I scold my child, and then my child says, okay, they now need to explain maybe the reason why they did that to help me understand why they reacted that way. I think it's best for us to have, especially when the child is older, because when they are younger, sometimes no matter how much you speak, it's hard for them to understand and for you to have that communication. But once the child gets older, where they're in the teenage state, now they have these emotions that they're going through, and it's better for them to be close to their parents than always getting advice from out there.
Wonderful. Tracy, do you also agree with Chancellor based off your parents? You pretend to say you are listening. Because if your parents are talking to you, they're scolding you and whatnot, you're upset, and then you just keep quiet until they are done. Traditionally, then you walk away like that. Or would you rather stand up when they are done? You talk to them to say, actually, you made me very upset with what you said, but next time, please talk to me this way. Do you think it's something that can be done in this generation, or we remain cultural grounded?
Well, so for me, where I come from, yes, your parents will talk, will do what, you maintain the face, as she said. Then when time passes, you're joking with mom, what, you go to say, Mom, I didn't like what you said that other time. Actually, it's not me who actually did this, and it's what. Then she'll be like, oh, really? No, sorry. Yeah, she'll apologize like that. When she's calm, you're all joking and whatnot. Not when she's angry, because when she's angry and you try to raise a point, no, my mom is always right.
So you won't show her the face, an angry face, so she knows.
I just keep quiet. By virtue of me keeping quiet, she'll know that I'm angry.
Then when you call and tell her about that, is that respect? Is it respectful, or she'll think you're being disrespectful?
The type of tone that I use matters.
The
So if
tone
I'm
matters.
talking like I'm shouting at her, that's disrespectful.
Dear viewer, we are talking handling anger issues. If you're angry, how do you handle that anger of yours? If you must contribute, the phone lines are crawling down there. As you can see on the screen, there are phone numbers there that you can call to contribute. If you have a question, or even on Facebook itself, you can put a comment there. Is it on YouTube? Wherever that you are watching us, you can put your comment, question, or contribution. Then we'll be able to share that with you right here. And so, talking about handling anger, is there a way that Christians handle anger different from non-Christians? Madam Chancellor, is anger handled the same way, regardless of who is experiencing it?
It's the same.
It's the same.
Yes, it's
How
the same.
how is it the same?
In as much as we may portray Christians, they can handle their anger better, I think sometimes it can be in certain places a mirage for the public, because even people who are non-Christians, when it comes to reacting in public, sometimes they can have a better control over how they react than when they're at home. So I think, in my opinion, it's the same thing.
It's the same. Haven't you been in a situation where you find that Christians, they have learned the word of God, and they are taught on how Jesus handled anger, and so they have learned from him. The non-Christians, they have no regard. Like if they have a gun in the house, and there's this misunderstanding, a non-Christian will just pick up a gun, shoot someone dead, or they'll poison them to death, or they will just avoid them. They can even divorce, they'll do what. But Christians, they have a certain way of responding. They'll say, no, I can't kill another person. They are afraid. I can't poison them. I can't do this. That is a Christian. Do you see those distinctives, or it's the same? Madam Tracy, are the Christians responding differently, or they also respond like non-Christians?
I think it's different.
Different. The Christians respond differently
Yes.
than non-Christians.
Yes.
You are disagreeing with Madam Chancellor.
No, I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's more like a 50-50 thing.
It's a 50-50.
Yes.
Okay.
So
how do
why-
non-Christians respond?
Okay, so why I say so, there's some Christians, when they're angry, they will decide to maybe go to church, pray about it. If it's someone who has pissed them off, they'll be like, Mweresa, over to you. You know the thing whereby they're leaving that person in God's hands. And then the non-Christians will be like, okay, black label. I insult that person and whatnot. Yes.
You talk a lot about insults. So for me, I think from when we started, you've been talking about someone insulting you. Have you been insulted in the past or something? Have you Have you been exposed to insults?
Well, okay, nothing pisses me off than insults, whether it's directed to me or to someone. I just don't like insults.
It makes you angry.
Yes.
Okay. Madam Johnson, what makes you more angry apart from insults? You said, of course, silly questions and whatnot. What is it? Is there a consistent thing that you can pinpoint to say maybe is it your boyfriend or someone, and then they are, you know what puts you off when you're with them, and then you've told them maybe it's the way they dress or it's the way you act. Maybe it's because of the way you chew your food. I remember my girlfriend when I was dating as a teenager, and she tells me, don't, when you're drinking tea, don't be like,
Making that sound.
Yeah, don't make a sound. That kind of a thing, so that pissed her off, and so I had to be careful when I'm with her. So is there a thing that will upset you, that you feel somebody, maybe their mentality or their behaviors put you off?
I think inconsistency, disrespect. Sometimes I think there's levels to anger as well. There's also just irritation, which can lead to anger, of which also things that irritate me is people that don't smell good.
Okay. People with a bad odor.
Yes, people with a bad odor, people who are too courageous. Those people who you do not find interesting at all, and they're too courageous in the way they're approaching you. You have shown that you are not interested, and they are trying
but
to...
you're a woman, they want to show you that they're courageous.
No,
so
but the thing is...
Why is that does that upset
the
you?
way I welcome you, it determines whether I'm interested in listening to you or not. So
But the girls, we told the girl when she says no, she means yes.
No,
so
it's not always that.
Don't accept the first yes, the first no, you back off. No, the girl doesn't.
No, for me, if I'm uninterested, when I say no,
hard.
my no is my no.
You have to
playing
play
hard. Maybe I can play hard in the actual relationship or with someone that I've allowed in my life, and then maybe if they ask me a question and I'm uncertain, maybe my no can be a maybe. But someone is approaching me, I have already assessed. I'm not interested. My no is my no.
So maybe, how about your assessment is a wrong one? Maybe
No.
You've done a wrong assessment, and this is the one God has sent.
No.
You are busy refusing because you have standards.
No, I'll give
you
an
are
example.
closing up on God's blessing.
I'll give an example of short men. For me, no matter how nice that man can be,
Don't say that.
No, but it's God has made us in different ways. There are certain women who are tall and they love short men. That's just the type of men they're attracted to.
Because you are tall.
Yes, there are certain women who are tall and they just love short men. For me, I'm a short girl or medium height who doesn't like short guys, who likes tall guys. So it's a specific for me. Like any other attribute, you can say, oh, even if they don't have muscle, it's okay.
Why would you be angry at God's creation?
No, it's not that I'm angry at God's creation. I'm angry at their courage. Short people, they have this confidence, cockroach.
They have to
like
show you. They have to show you that they are courageous. That is. That's what they
it's
should
like
do.
for me it's just like it's a natural turn off, like just like knowing that my man would be shorter than me. It's just like it's not something that I can accept.
Tracy, those likings the same as yours. you tend to be upset by certain characters and whatnot.
Yes, some people are just too pompous.
Yes,
and I don't like people that are too pompous. Like she said, the way someone ends, the
Feeling
approach
themselves.
matters. There is no way you're going to approach me in a very disrespectful manner and then you expect me to welcome you. Yes, I'm definitely going to turn down your offer.
So people should be able to respect you whilst they approach you.
Yes.
So that will help you handle your anger. And then you're pissed off with this man or boy, and then you sleep over it, and you are still hungry because of what you saw that day, and so you go to bed in sin, like Ephesians 4:26 would say, don't go to bed hungry. Have you been hungry for 3 days, 1 week, Chansa, or 2 months? Somebody did something wrong which you haven't forgiven them. Maybe a guy disappointed you, you've never forgiven them. You just said, even if I die, don't attend my funeral because you've made me so upset. Has there been times when you're upset for a long time, other than just some hours?
They have
It has
been
taken
several
you
times,
months
actually.
and years.
There have been several times that I've been that angry. There's a time I was really angry with my dad. There's a time I was really angry with someone I was dating. There was a time I was angry with family members. Yes, there have been times when I'm like, I have a prolonged anger.
How long were you angry with your dad? For a long time.
For a long time, but it wasn't the type of anger where I would say I don't even want to talk to him, I don't want to see him ever. It was like it even stemmed down from anger to disappointment.
Is it because he didn't do something you expected, or because he did something bad, or he said something bad to you?
He did certain things that I did not expect from him. Like, when you're growing up, you hold your father on a pedestal, and there was a time I was like, okay, when I'm older, I want to marry a man like my father. And then eventually, when certain things came to light, I came to realize, oh, he's actually not a perfect being that I saw him as beforehand. So it was disappointing to me to learn certain things that he did in the past, and I just couldn't look at him the same way.
But Chancellor, there are children that hold their parents dearly, and regardless, maybe a father will be a thief, a father will be a witch, a father will be a what, and they still hold dearly to them. This is my parent, and they wouldn't betray them. How about you? How did you have that courage to say you were just upset with your dad for that long time because you were disappointed with the things he did?
It was how I felt. It wasn't something that I could easily control. Like I said, it wasn't that I wished him the worst. There's a different levels of anger. There's that anger where you don't even want to see that person, and if anything happens to them, you don't care.
Is your father around?
No, unfortunately, he's not.
Did you forgive him?
Yeah, eventually I did. I accepted that.
Did you forgive him before he died, or you forgave him after he died?
Before
he died. Okay. And you're at peace right now? You feel you are...
Yeah, I'm at peace. I'm actually even saddened that he's not here to see certain things that I have been able to achieve in life.
Tracy, have you been upset for a long time with someone? Months or years, days? How has it been for you?
So for me, the maximum I can go is like 2 days, because if I exceed that, it turns into depression now. Yes.
Okay. So Christians are encouraged not to be angry for over 1 day. You just have to be angry for hours, just minutes, and then you get over it. And like you guys were saying at the beginning, anger is part of us. Each one of us gets angry. If you look at Psalms, the book of Psalms, the psalmist gets angry even at God and say, why have you done this? Why? So there's these expressions of anger that people are having. It's a normal thing to be angry, but then the Bible is saying, do not let the sun go down on your anger. So do your best. As soon as you are angry, you forgive. Do your best to reconcile. If somebody has upset you, you show them they are wrong. Like I was asking you, what do you say to your parents? You tell them, Mommy or Daddy, I was not upset, I was not happy with what you said about this and that. So please, if I've wronged, forgive me, but this way, next time let's do this. My son does that. He's only 13. He will tell you afterwards, when he's done something, he will tell you, Daddy, I wasn't happy about that. So we are promoting a culture of openness. You see that? When you're open, it will help you handle your anger. If you are not open, that's where now you bottle it up, isn't it? Because you're not open, you'll be building these things. It will be bulging in you. That's why people are committing suicide, people are having mental issues, people are having so many problems because they've not learned how to handle anger. Anger can be sinful. Anger is a good thing, like we said. It's an emotional thing, but the more you tolerate it, it gets to sin, then you do silly things. People have killed, people have not forgiven, others have gone to the grave, they have never been forgiven. Why? Because someone was holding this bitter anger of someone that they've said, even if, and someone may be watching right now, I used to know of a cousin who would sign letters with a sister. Kwasila, today, you are not my brother, you are not my sister. They sign. But then afterwards, you find they are back together. But they were signing those papers. So people would say, no, don't even come to my funeral, do that. It's a wrong thing. You don't do that. So in this world, if you have to overcome, if you have to handle if you have to be healthy, it's important that you don't let anger take over you. So that you don't do a silly thing. Because if you are not handling your anger, then you end up sinning. It will be a wrong thing to do. Your closing remarks, Tracy, and then we can hear from Chance as well. Your last remarks.
Well, so basically, to sum everything up, anger is part of us. It's an emotion that was placed in us. So what matters is how we handle our anger, yes, and how we react to certain situations, how we vent it, and we should have recreation activities to avoid certain instances.
Wonderful. Madam Chasa, your last words.
I think in closing, what I would say is meditation helps a lot. Spiritual meditation and just mental meditation, especially exposing your mind to certain things that you do not know about. If you've noticed to say you have these major anger outbursts all the time, and whenever you do, your reaction is not very good, at least meditation in your spare time can help with easing your mental waves or whatever they may be called. But it's easier for you to have a better reaction to someone's words or someone's action when you have taken the time to meditate, especially spiritually, to understand how you are supposed to carry yourself as a Christian and someone who might be transitioning from a non-Christian to a Christian. So taking the time to understand who you are, taking the time to understand how you easily anger, and actively choosing to be slower to anger whenever something happens, because it is an emotion that we can't run away from, but we can control it.
Wonderful. There you have it, dear viewers. We were talking about anger management, and I'm sure you've learned a lot in terms of how you respond to anger. Do not let anger lead you into sin. And so from today onwards, learn how to manage your anger. Stop being a person that is responding negatively to anger. Thank you so much for watching The Broken Truth. I've been your host. Martin Lutuna is my name, and was joined by Tracy Piri as well as Madam Chansa Maimbo. Until next time, it's bye-bye.